Hey guys, it's Jocelyn. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I took this ottoman and flipped it into this for super cheap. My parents had an old one. It was chipping, it was faux leather, and I flipped it. And here we go. So to make this super cheap, what you're going to need is curtains. That's the key thing. So I bought 2 packs of these blackout curtains. They were $8 each, total of $16. You're also going to need scissors and a staple gun, and that's literally all you need. So first, what you're going to do is, you see how it has all those grommets on the curtains? Cut those off. You don't need those. They're just going to get in the way. Here we go. Me struggling to cut it and then playing around using it as a scarf. Why not? Now, this is the lid of the ottoman. We're measuring the inside because it needs like a board or a piece of wood or something in it. Can't be exposed like that. So basically, we measured it, and then we're just going to make a rectangle on this cardboard and cut it out so that it fits on the back. Don't worry, it's going to be covered with the fabric. You won't see this. But if your ottoman needs this, ours needed this. Some of you might not need this, and you could skip this step. So you're going to cut it out with a blade or an X-Acto knife. You can use scissors, but I find that when you cut cardboard with scissors, the cardboard like ends up creasing up and whatnot. And we want this as intact as possible. Okay, so this next part I'm going to try to explain as best as possible. I know the angle is not the best. So you're just going to lay your fabric with the nice side face down. If you're working on the floor, if you're working on an island, we had enough space on our island, so we did it there. But make sure the fabric is face down because you're going to put the lid face down on top of it. Hopefully that makes sense, but let's see if you could see. So what we did was try to drag one edge. As you can see, my dad just picked up that edge so that we can have more leftover fabric for whatever else we need. And we measured around a little bit, make sure that the fabric, there's enough fabric so that you can pull it against the wood like this. And then you start to staple gun it. Don't rush doing this, because you want it to be even and you don't want any like ripple effect when you turn it over. So this is just me cutting the excess pieces off, probably gonna use it to make a pillowcase or something. And then you just continue pulling it, make sure it's taut, and then you staple it. We actually pulled some areas too much, and then there was like creasing and denting and whatnot. So we had to remove the staples, do it all over again, but it worked out. It turned out. My tip for this though, I didn't do this, but I would, and I should have, ironed the curtains first. I didn't do that. So once it's done, there are some wrinkles and whatnot, but I'm just gonna go with a steamer, try to take those off. Okay, so these are the corners of the lid. The best I can say how to do this is you kind of want to gather it nicely so that the edges kind of look like they have pleats, but not in a messy way. I know it's hard to see here, but we basically, you take the right side, you make a little fold, you take the left side, you make a little fold, and you pull it up and staple it, and they should have little pleats. Now, remember the cardboard that we cut out? This is the excess fabric I had, and now we're going to cover that cardboard. Basically, what we're going to do in this process is tuck in the fabric under that cardboard and then staple gun it down. If it's simpler to do it like this, we found it was simpler to do it like this to start with. We first took the edge of the fabric, nice side down, and stapled it to another edge on the lid. And then pulled the fabric over, and now we are tucking it in under the cardboard. I really hope I'm making sense here. I know it's a little bit hard to process probably. I'm not very good at explaining things, but it's actually pretty simple. I'm pretty sure you could figure it out. And dance break for me. I don't even know what song I was playing. some throwback from before I was born, or maybe the 90s, which I was born in the 90s, but so here you go. This is the lid. I think it looks cute. We're just taking off like little particles because the fabric I have is kind of like a velvet type of fabric. And I know you can see the staples. If you want, you can get those decorative nails instead. Excuse me eating a cucumber. So now this is the trunk of the ottoman. We're going to do the same thing we did before. You line it up with the edge and make sure you have enough space to drape it over on the inside and start stapling that edge to the inside. And then we're pulling the fabric, making sure it's nice and tight, nice and taut. And now we are draping it over. This is actually the bottom that you're looking at. We felt it was simpler to just cover the bottom also instead of cutting out different pieces and like stapling one rectangle at a time, and you know, a patchwork, that would be too much work. And I was like, you know what, it's easier to just wrap the whole thing, like wrapping a car. Actually, I don't know how to wrap a car. I don't know why I said that. Okay, so cut the excess. Is basically the same thing over and over again. Measure, cut, staple, measure, cut, staple, measure, cut, staple. Okay, here we go with trying to figure out this pleating situation here again. I'm sorry, my dog is barking as usual. Anyways, so this is basically what we also kind of did for the lid that I was trying to explain earlier. You can see here way better. So that's what we are going to do on both sides. Fold it in, flip it to the top, flip the excess to the top, and then cut, trim it, and then we're stapling it. And lastly, this should be your last step. If your ottoman came with hardwood, you're just going to put all that back again. All the hinges, everything. Luckily for us, we can feel where the hinges were before. It like has a little indent in the foam. So it's easy to figure out where to put these. But if not, you know, you could just measure it out and give it equal distance between it all. And if you need to buy hardware, I know they sell it for pretty cheap, you know, Home Depot, Amazon. I'm sure there's other places. And that's basically it. It's pretty simple. Listen, you don't have to buy fancy fabric from a fabric store. Go buy yourself some curtains, especially the blackout ones. They're blackout, like you can't see anything through. You can't see the foam under this through the fabric. And I'm so glad we did this. I'm getting married soon, and I'm taking this with me to the new apartment. So if you like this video, please like, comment, share, and please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.